when they had a conversation with us before they got this LVAD device, which is a pump to help pump blood through the body the way a healthy heart would, these patients had 6 months or less left to live. That was the life expectancy. With technology and with this device, they could live 10, 20 plus years a normal, healthy, happy life. And the thing that I saw was I had to witness after all of that, and we saved these patients' lives, I had to witness them die quicker from the financial burden than the disease itself. I had a patient commit suicide because of financial burden. Literally had patients die from the depression, not the heart failure. Patients go through divorce, they lost their homes, all of these things. And I had these strategies in place for my family. I knew that there was something called living benefits, and there was a way that you could protect yourself and be prepared for when life happens so that financial burden doesn't have to be something that comes in and causes despair for your family, right? So that didn't sit well with me. And because of that, I always knew, you know, there was more to my purpose. In addition to that, as hard as I worked, I was overworked, underpaid, underappreciated, given everything that I had, yet I knew that something was missing. Okay. I realized I wasn't just called to save lives, I was called to change how people live as well. All right. That led to the shift from healthcare to wealth care. Okay. Just like my family, I realized there were so many other families out here who were on the hunt for that information, starting with my best friends. None of them had these strategies. My own family, my brothers, my mother, none of these people had these strategies and knew about it. Somebody had to share this information, right? Somebody had to share the information. Why not me? Okay. My why for retirement wasn't just about leaving healthcare. It was about expanding my impact. For years, I saved lives after crisis. Okay. Now I'm able to help save and secure families before life happens. The mission remains the same. I'm still saving lives, one family at a time. I'm just doing it in a different way. I chose to prioritize my own wealth care journey, having tried and tested it, right? Knowing that it's something that's real, knowing that it's something that's beneficial, and seeing every day how families were suffering. I chose to prioritize my own journey so that I could show others how to protect what matters most and live in true peace and prosperity. All right. So then came the breakthrough: faith, freedom, and overflow. All right. So, with lots of prayer, tremendous support from my amazing husband, Vince, and so much encouragement, I was brave. I said, you know what? I feel God pulling me and tugging me in a different direction, right? I've got a greater calling out here. Okay. So I decided, why not? Let's take the leap. I got head down and focused. I started studying for the exam. I passed the exam in only 2 weeks and got licensed, right? Now I'm licensed in 6 different states. At first, I gave myself a year. I said, I'm going to give myself a year. If I make my salary, then, this business will have proven itself to me and I'll decide that I'll go full time. Okay. Well, after 2 months, I made $60,000 in the business. I had no clue when I came over to this side of the world, the financial freedom that came into it. Because like I said, I was coming into it to save lives, to get this information to people. I didn't even understand how you get paid, right? Now, after being in the business for only 7 months, my husband and I have generated over $250,000 in cash flow. Some of our 2025 accomplishments include: we were the #2 Transamerica Rising Star, number 19 out of the top 100 Transamerica agents in 2025. We made history as WFG's fastest SMD promotion, earned our $250,000 diamond ring, and qualified for the Hawaii trip. All right. However, beyond the numbers, we've also helped over 200 families protect their legacies, protect themselves, and over 40 agents start their journey to launching their own businesses. All right. So the legacy from purpose to prosperity. This right here that you see on the screen, this is my real cash flow report from when I received my first paycheck in June all the way down to January of 2026. All right. I can show you better than I can tell you, right? So as of the end of January, my husband and I were at $261,000 in cash flow, having only been in this business since June of 2025. Today, I'm walking in purpose, peace, and prosperity. No stress, no boss, no limits, just alignment. We are not just breaking records here. We are breaking generational curses and creating generational change for our family. Now, this is just the beginning of our mission, because we're on a mission to help protect our first 1 million families. We got 200 now, right? We're on the mission to help them achieve financial independence, from healthcare to wealth care, healing generations through financial freedom. We didn't realize we were building family business as well, right? We've got 5 kids. Our kids have been able to see our successes. They learned about this business, and each one of them have a desire to join this business, get licensed as soon as they turn 18. Our oldest is 19 years old. He's in the process of getting licensed now, after we've been able to help his own best friend who was accidentally shot last year. Thank God we were able to help him secure this policy before that happened. He lost a lung after getting shot. He's doing well right now, but guess what? Who knows what the future is going to look like for him? But because we made sure that that family wasn't left behind, no matter what life looks like later on down the road, this baby's not going to have to suffer financially, right? So, with that being said, I want to end it off by saying generational wealth starts with one risk taker. Why not you, right? Why not me? We go to work every day and we help these jobs, we help them make millions and millions of dollars in revenue. What makes you think you can't do that for your own business, for your own family, and for your own self, right? So, I want to encourage everybody, if this is something that you have been considering, my one mouth, Andrea's one mouth, Nikki's one mouth cannot get this information out to the masses. There's too many families out here who needs us. We are doing God's work, and it's our duty as stewards to help save and protect these families and ensure that there is no family left behind. All right. So
All
that
right.
being said,
I love that, Kiana. That is an amazing testimony, girl. You go, girl. Listen, I want to ask you a really quick question. Now, you said you have 5 kids. You were reminding me of Proverbs, right? 13:22, which says, "A good person leaves an inheritance to their children's children." Now, you've got 5 children. And so going from being a registered nurse, which is already a busy schedule, right? And being married and having the 5 kids, how has your whole schedule and time changed that you're able to focus on those kids now?
Well, first of all, I can say I didn't know freedom until I broke out of jail. That's what it feels like, right? And being on this side of the world. It's amazing. You know what? I was having to sacrifice a lot. All of my kids are in sports. My oldest is 19, our youngest is 3.
Mm-hmm.
And there were times when I couldn't show up to certain award ceremonies. I couldn't show up to the games. Now, I'm able to run my business on my own terms. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to miss out. I'm able, my kids are able to see me more. I used to be on call 24/7, have to get up in the middle of the night, go to the hospital. There's no more of that. Right. So the time that's come back into our family, into our household, for me to be able to have that time to be more intentional about not only, securing the legacy and building the generational wealth, but just, raising my children the way that I would like to on my own terms. It's been a phenomenal thing.
What a blessing. What a blessing. Thank you so much for being on tonight, Kiana. I really appreciate you. And I'll see you in Hawaii on Saturday.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me.
All right, you guys. Work hard, play hard. We have a good time here. All right. So I'm going to introduce what an all-star lineup. Now, I know what you're thinking right now. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, this is amazing. But are there any men in this company? I knew you were thinking that. Let me introduce our next speaker that's coming up. Also, from the same industry. Now, Gilbert is an author of a book called Pathways to Prosperity. Write that down. Pathways to Prosperity. He's a book author. He is an immigrant from Cameroon. He grew up in Germany. He studied math. So once again, Gilbert's one of those individuals, incredibly intelligent, multiple degrees. He has a previous career also in nursing as an RN, but he's been with our company just 7 short years. He is now executive vice chairman with our company and over $1 million earner with our company. Gilbert, can you please tell us a little bit about your journey here?
Oh, definitely. Can you all see me? Oh,
yes, we can.
All right. Wonderful. My goodness. I'm so super happy to be part of this movement. I call it a movement. All right. The Black history. It's amazing, seeing us here. So, wow. My name is Gilbert Fawn, and when I kind of think about it, my journey all the way from Cameroon to Germany and then Germany to the United States is amazing. I can't even believe it, what is happening to us. All right. But to start, I want to thank the Almighty God that allowed me to be here, to be alive, to talk to all of you. Without him, we can't do anything. But now, if you believe that poverty is a disease, please put one in the chat. If you believe that poverty is a disease, put one in the chat. And then if you also believe that poverty is contagious, please put 2 in the chat. All right. Okay, I'm going to prove this to you. Whether you believe it or not, I truly believe that poverty is a disease and it is very contagious. All right. Now, I'm going to share my screen and share my journey because I want all of us to believe that we have greatness in us. We are God's creature. Whether you believe in God or not, but I want you to know that this world is spiritual. There's a spiritual world that most of us don't understand. Once you start understanding it, then things will start happening to you, to your favor. So let me go ahead and share my screen and then take it from there. All right. So I remember 8 years ago, I and my family used to live paycheck to paycheck, struggling financially. All right. So even though I studied mathematics, I did everything. So when I left Germany, I came here. Someone told me that in order to make it, I have to go back to school. The same story. So I went back to school. I listened to that person. And they told me that I have to study something that has to do with healthcare. Of course, I did. I followed that person's footsteps. But now, I didn't know that it was the journey that is leading me to live an average lifestyle. So I did it. It was okay. I made money, but it was just enough for me to pay my bills. But guess what? A house that I bought, I could barely sleep in that house. I could barely spend time with my family, with my children. I was like a stranger to them. I remember how I was taking care of patients in a single nurse. I by myself taking care of over 60 patients as a nurse. I could not believe it. I don't know how I was doing it, but somehow I did it because I needed that money. I didn't know what they were paying me as a nurse at that time, $5,000 a month. A month. That money was not enough just to pay the bills, but I thank God I had that job, that I could work as a nurse. I thank God for that. But the lesson here is that we cannot settle. We cannot settle. All right, we cannot do that. So now, when I say poverty is a disease, I mean it. What does that mean? Because someone told me that I should go and become a nurse, I did it. But now, the income that I was making was capped. There was no way that I could make enough money as a nurse. All right. So I want you to kind of think about this. If you are working long hours, not focused on a business or other things, you are not focused, working long hours. Let's say you work as a nurse, as I used to do. It doesn't matter how many hours you put in there, your income is always going to be capped. But I thank God that someone came to my rescue. Someone came to my rescue. I used to ship containers, cars back to Africa. Yes, the money I was making as a nurse wasn't enough, but I had to have a side business. So I got a license that I went to auction. I bought cars and shipped containers back to Africa. I shipped cars, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't working for me. But God sent me an angel. The angel called me, said, "Mr. Fon, what are you doing?" I said, "Of course, you know what I'm doing. All right, I'm busy shipping containers to Africa. That's what I'm doing. Busy working as a nurse. The person said, guess what? I have an opportunity for you. An opportunity that can change your life. I asked the person, of course, I like money, right? The person said, I know. I said, okay. So what is this opportunity about? The person said there's an opportunity that you will learn how to make money, and also help others. I said, of course, I'm in. How much is it? How much does it cost? The person told me that it's $100 at that time. $100. As the person said, I thought that it was $100,000, and I was ready to pay $100,000. But the moment I understood that it was just $100, I was not that interested. But because I trusted this person, I did not want to offend this person. I joined, I signed up, but I only got licensed a year after. I joined in 2018. I got licensed a year after. Why is that so? Because of the mindset. The mindset that we have. Because what we already know, or we think we know. Sometimes the reason some of us are not winning is not just about what we don't know. It could also be about what we think we know. All right, which is a misinformation. So because of that mindset, I thought that this opportunity, it was nothing. It wasn't gonna go anywhere. So that's why it took me a year to get licensed. So I got licensed in 2019. 2019. And then guess what? I was still busy doing what? Pushing my med card. So from 2019 to 2020, I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't doing anything with that license. Why? I was not coachable. I didn't want to listen. I thought I knew it all, and so on. Guess what? This person did not give up. This person did not give up, but something changed. This person managed to bring me to an event. And right here in the middle, this is the person right here by the name Stefania Fumble. She managed to bring me to an event. So if you have people, especially you have business partners with you who are not moving, all you need to do is to bring them to a big event. And that event is going to change them. And that's what happened to me. I am a product of an event, because if I didn't attend a big event, I believe that I will still be busy today complaining, working as a nurse, because as a nurse, I used to complain a lot. I was like a beast on the floor. I wasn't that happy, but I needed the money to survive. So I attended that, and my wife was very supportive, and my sister came with me. She has been supporting me, but guess what? She didn't join until 2 years after as well, just like me, that I was behaving like that. Now, I want you to know that you are a magnet to money, to success. The moment you start loving money, you fall in love with money, money is going to come your way. The moment you start being positive in your life, the moment you get rid of those toxic people, because we have a lot of people out there who are toxic, people who don't encourage you to do well in life. People who always complain with excuses. You need to stay away from these people. When you do and hang around with successful people, you're going to make it. So the reason why I say poverty is a disease is because if you take advice from people who are struggling financially, you're just going to be like them. If you are not satisfied with the amount of money that you are making today, I want you to take a piece of paper, write down the names of all the people that you know, your friends, and then go and ask them the amount of money that they are making a year. You will see that they are making almost the same amount that you are making as well. Because you cannot outlive your environment. You cannot do more than what you know. That's what it is. But if you want to become successful, you need to surround yourself with successful people, period. That's what it is. That's what it is. Today, I and my children, we don't have any issue. My wife, my family, we are living the life, the American dream, the real American dream. We play in money all the time. So we are in the business of mindset. The products are so good. The products sell themselves, but we are the problem. There's no luck. I don't believe in luck. I don't believe in luck. There's no luck. You just have to believe that you can make it. You have to believe that this is the right opportunity, and then it's going to happen for you as well. But I want you to know that it's not easy. What we do, anything in life is not easy. It's not easy. It means you have to work on yourself. You have to go through obstacles. You have to take action. You have to be coachable. You have to have a mentor that can guide you. You have to trust the system, and you have to stay consistent and be patient in the process. Things don't happen overnight. But if you think that you can microwave success, sorry, I'm sorry. But what I know, it works. What we do works 100%. The transformation. Today, I and my family, we travel all over the world. We go to Hawaii. On Saturday, we're going to be traveling to Hawaii. They have already packed their luggage. Everything is already ready to go. They are so happy. But when I was working as a nurse, this could not have happened. Thank God to the opportunity. Thank God. So we no longer live paycheck to paycheck. And then now we own our own business. We have time freedom, and we can be anywhere we want to be. We are now amassing what? Money is not an issue. We know that the money that we have already amassed so far can last up to 6 generations. But how many people can say this? It's because of the opportunity. Yes, the formula is that you first believe in you, have that growth mindset. What does that mean? It means that failure is part of the process. Yes, you will face challenges, you will struggle, then you're going to learn and win. But the good news is that in our organization here, we have mentors that have already paid the price. You can learn from them and win faster. So you have to listen to them. Listen to them does not mean that they have the PhD that you have, all right? Yes, you have your PhD, you are super educated, but they are the money doctor. They don't understand how it works. So that's why you have to listen to them. And if you are not making the amount of money that they are making, then you have to listen to them. And you have to be consistent. Consistency is the key, and be patient in the process. Even when you don't see results, which I want you to know that results are still there, which means in the absence of no results, there are results. But it's just that they are not there yet. So just keep doing it. Keep doing it, and it's going to happen. Yes, the WFG opportunity has changed everything. I want you to believe that you too can win. Everyone can win. My story, if you love it, can be yours. You can be successful. You just have to believe in it. So it is your decision to say that today I want to win. Today I want to make it. I want to be successful. So you have to take action. Nobody else can do it except you. So I'm so happy to be part of this movement. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity, to be part of this. But I want you to know that I and the team for last year, we have been paid over 4.6 million because of this opportunity. But it started with me alone. So thank you so much.
You are so very welcome, Gilbert. You all heard from Gilbert this evening. Let me summarize what he said. Building wealth is a mindset before it becomes an asset. Right? That's what what Gilbert's message was about, and that was very powerful. So let me bring up our last powerful speaker this evening, everyone. This is Francis Nkimber. Now, Francis also married, has 3 kids, former lieutenant commander in the United States Navy, previous career as a nurse practitioner, right? Nurse practitioner, previous career, also extremely busy career, making money, but sometimes There's a vision. You have a vision that's way bigger than your job will ever allow you to accomplish for you and your family. Look at that beautiful family. So please, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome up to close us out this evening, Francis and Kimberg.
Oh my goodness. Hello, everybody. Can you guys hear me okay? Thumbs up, thumbs up. Wow. Happy Black History Month. I am so excited to be here with you this evening. It is such a privilege. It is such a blessing. And I want to say this. You were not born to pay bills and die. Let me say that again. You were not born to pay only bills and then die. But here's the thing though. If you were born in life to make exploits, the question is, are you truly taking advantage of what God has put in you? I always begin my meetings by saying, look up to God for the strength, but look within you for the power to win. But here's the challenge that we have in our communities. We are being dominated by bills, by debts, by taxes, and retiring broke. What a privilege this day is. You were born looking like your parents, but you die looking like your choices. The question is, what choice are you going to make tonight? Ladies and gentlemen, there is a financial revolution happening right now as I speak to you, and the people leading it are on this call tonight. The question is, are you one of them? 10 years from today, you're going to be somebody. The question is, who? It is such an honor. Thank you so much, Miss Nikki, for this opportunity and all the incredible speakers that went before me. I'm supposed to share my story just a little bit, and then I give you an opportunity. Gilbert talked about opportunity. The previous speakers talked about opportunity. I will remind you about the opportunity again. And the question is again at the end is, what choices are you going to make tonight that will decide how your future, your family, and your finances will look like? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wealth Equation. It is not how much money you make, it is how much you keep. That makes a difference for you and your entire generation. So if you permit me share my screen real quick, I want to come from a place of, indifference. Indifference because there are many people who were born in this country looking for the American dream. Many of us left Africa. We came to America in search of the American dream. I want to ask you a question. Have you seen it yet? What about the people who were born in America? What does the American dream look like? It looks like a nightmare you wake up to every single day. Why do I say that? Here's my belief. The belief that anyone, regardless of where they were born, what class they were born into, can attain their own version of success in a society where your income is uncapped, where your growth is uncapped, where your success is not determined by your boss, where your freedom is not capped by your environment, because God said, I will be the head and not the tail. Are you the head? It's just a question. But I know that there are some people on this call who are going to keep talking about this thing and giving themselves a reason why this is not going to work. Someone invited you. They gave you an opportunity. They opened a window for you to take advantage of financial liberation. The question is, will you take advantage of it? It's a scam. Have you heard that before? Still confused about money. That's what it means. Let me think about it. Very soon, you're going to develop what I call now thinkinitis. Do you know what the solution is? Doingitis. You need to be doing instead of thinking. Number 3, show me proof. Wow, Miss Kiana, a registered nurse, left from healthcare to welfare. Guess what? She and I share the same background. I was a family nurse practitioner working for the federal government, 5 days a week, course on weekend. As an endocrinologist, the challenges I saw were innumerable. You take care of a patient and discharge them, they are happy, but they are sad because they don't have the money to pay for the prescriptions you just prescribed. 3 months later, they come back in, they have to amputate their leg. 6 months later, they come back in, they have to cut the other leg. Why? Because of financial ignorance. The cost of ignorance is more expensive than the price of knowledge today. The question is, are you paying attention? There is nothing free in the world. I don't have time. Of course, you don't have time. You are busy building your boss's dreams. Every time you work overtime, they are in Hawaii. Every time you work overtime, they are in Dubai. Every time you work all the time, they bought a brand new jet. When will you start building your own dreams? Of course, you're going to be broke. That is why, ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you a question tonight. Are you planning your retirement or your favorite uncle is doing it for you? You get paid, they tax you. You save money, they tax you. You retire, they tax you. Anytime you're buying something, saving something, you are being taxed. Are you not sick and tired of it? Our mission is clear: faith, family, finance, fitness, fun. Let me add number 6, freedom. That is why I'm here on this call. No family, no community, nobody in my environment will be left behind. Wow. There is a mental shift happening right now, ladies and gentlemen. There is a mental shift happening right now. Why must we rise now? Tonight is not about motivation. It's about pushing you beyond your growth. Why is that important? This month matters because Black History Month is deeply connected in economic empowerment and financial freedom. It's about economic empowerment, generational wealth and ownership, financial literacy as a tool. As a tool. And that is why I say 2026 is the year of acceleration and growth. That's what I tell myself. What do you tell yourself? You know what God says? Money is going to come to me easily, frequently, and abundantly according to his plan for my life. I must be the head and not the tail. I must possess my possessions. What do you tell yourself when you wake up every day? Ladies and gentlemen, stop waiting and start acting. The waiting game is the losing game. It's better to be prepared without an opportunity than to get an opportunity and lose it because you were not prepared. I am here to prepare you so that when tomorrow comes, you have the tools, you have the resources, you have the knowledge, because the people say what the Bible says, the people perish lack thereof. My God. Anyway, that is me. Are there any military people on the call? I want to salute you for a job well done. You committed to work, serving this great country. Now it is time for you to get your license. Let's go protect families. The time is now. Yes, that is me to you. Dream big, follow it with unwavering passion, and watch the impossible become possible. That is why tonight is not about you. It's not about anything. It's about quitting the rat race. It's about living your own God-given dreams. It's about converting your dreams into your realities. Does this look familiar? The rat race, 9 to 5, 9 to 5, 9 to 5, 9 to 5. And then your children become the same thing in the same system. Then your grandchildren, then your great-grandchildren. Poverty is a sin, and we must stop it today. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, I was one of those people who was very, academically inclined. Don't get me wrong. I want to appreciate the people on here who sought after knowledge. Academics. How come the outcome of academics is student loans, credit card debt, and then when you finish with a student loan of 200,000, they pay you 60,000? Is that not financial entanglement? Is that not you being held to the same standard that you never grow out of? I don't call that freedom, but yet they code it as education. Oh my goodness. No wonder the people perish for lack of knowledge. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to quit. Deuteronomy 28:12. Anoint my business, Lord, set it apart, sustain it, and bring lasting clients. Let my work reflect your blessings. This business is a blessing to me, my wife, my children, my generation. That is why I take it very seriously. That is why I don't have time to think about it. That is why I don't have time to be asking the four broke friends that I've been hanging around with. For you to change, you must change your mindset and the environment and the company you keep. Wow. This is what got me here. I looked at the 40-40-40 plan, which says work 40 hours a week, 40 years of your life, and retire on less than 40% of your income. I started asking questions. How much? There are many people here who make good income. Like my sister Kiana, she made 130,000 a year. The question I wanted to ask her is, how much of that were you saving? You see, the problem is not what you make, it's what you are saving and how can it sustain you. I have another question for you. If today was the last day you clocked in at your job, how long would you survive before you start having financial difficulties? Wow. You see, we can predict your financial future. If you continue doing the same thing you have done the last 10 years in the next 10 years, are you going to experience financial freedom? That is why we are on this call tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And that is why I am in a company of people who changed my life. The co-founder of the company, my great mentors and leaders in business. Your associations matter. That is why they say your network is your net worth. Who are you hanging around with? Change is a painful process. But once you go through it, you'll be a very happy person. That is where I am now. In the midst of millionaires, people who are making money. Have you ever realized when you go to the bank, everybody's smiling, they're happy because they're touching money, even if it's not their money. But when you clock in and out, 1 minute later, they write you up. 2 minutes later, they write you up. You're always tense. You are stressed. You're under a lot of pressure. But you cannot even experience your own dreams. You have to seek for permission to take time off. You have to seek permission to go on vacation. Why do you need permission to live what God has given you for free? Oh my goodness. A focused fool is better than a distracted genius. A focused fool is better than a distracted genius. And that is the price of ignorance that your family and generation is going to pay. Ladies and gentlemen, let me kind of diverge a little bit. There are many people on this call, on this path, but I'm daring you tonight and challenging what you know to follow the vision. Vision is not your eyes. I'm not talking about the glasses that you wear or your eyes. I'm talking about the mind sight, because you can still have open eyes, but if your mind is not open, you'll not get to your destination. That one is pretty deep. I know you don't know what I'm talking about. If your physical eyes are open, but your mindset is closed, you will not get to your destination. That is why we are here to educate and empower. And because I have the last few minutes, I want to kind of share something with you that I think is very profound. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the person that changed my life. When I joined this business, January was my birthday, January of 2020. I met this guy who was also a nurse practitioner like me. He's like, Francis, there are two ways of making money. You can either do it the limited way, which is W-2, called second working class citizen, or you can do it through a 1099 income called 1099. I said, wow, I never knew there was another way of making money. It's like, here's the challenge. When you make money, don't you want to save it? I said, yes. Then you know what he said? The question is, where are you saving your money? I'm like, in a checking account, in a savings account. He's like, there is this company called World Financial Group. The only thing you need to do is to get licensed. And if you join me in business, you can make an extra $72,000 in your first 0 to 3 years. If you stick around for 4 to 7 years, you can make $250,000. If you stick around for 8 to 10 years, you can make $500,000. I did the math, and if I had stayed a nurse practitioner in the next 8 to 10 years, I would have never made $500,000. There was no time to think, ladies and gentlemen. If the only thing I needed was a license, there was nothing stopping me. So I got licensed in 3 days. Yes, I said 3 days because you see, when you have been through everything in life, when you have been through paycheck to paycheck, when you're sick and tired of trying to explain to your wife why you can't go on vacation, why you have to drive instead of flying, you know what I'm talking about. When your children say, Daddy, let's go to Chuck E. Cheese, you say, well, what had happened was, you see, you keep trying to justify giving them the freedom they need because you are broke. And then my wife asked me one day, we got married since this. When are you taking me to honeymoon? I'm like, honey, you see, I'm working on it. For how long? I was broke, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't have the capacity, I didn't have the ability to provide for my family the dignity that God gave me to give them. The kingdom of God suffered violence. There are some violent people on this call. You better wake up. You better wake up right now. You have been sleeping on your dreams. You have been sleeping on your realities. You have been sleeping on what God has put in you. It is time for you to burst out. It is time for you to go all out. The moment is now. Stop thinking. Let's go. This is Black History Month. My goal is not to motivate you. My goal is to get you to take action. We are sick and tired of being motivated. We are sick and tired of being inspired. The moment for you to take action and transform your generation is right now. Daniel told me that, Francis, when you joined, we as a company got paid $6 million a year. I'm like, wow. I thought that was a lot of money. But then I looked at my own business last year. My team got paid $8 million. Wait a minute. I now own a company that generates that kind of income. And then 1 year later, we went from 6 to 17 million. And then let's just even fast forward to 2024. We went to $92 million. Wait a minute. 1 year later, 2025, ladies and gentlemen, we closed last year at $129 million. Talk about financial freedom. What kind of business is this? And then he said, Francis, we work with all these platinum companies. You are independent. You can contract and work with all these people. Also in the United States and Canada. You are not limited. I'm like, you know what? This is the best business platform ever. So I want to congratulate some people. If you are looking for money, you are in the money environment right now. If you are looking for money, get ready, ladies and gentlemen. Can you imagine? People like nurses who used to make $70,000 a year are making $243,000 in a month. In a month, I did not say in a year, I said in 1 month. What do you think they make a year? And then the good Lord also saw it worthy for a guy by the name Francis, who came from ordinary places, now in an extraordinary opportunity. I made a little minimum wage, a little something, a little something. Can you imagine? How can you live on that? We used to make this a year, now we make this in a month, ladies and gentlemen. That is what this opportunity is telling you. Wealth is also part of your family. You deserve to be wealthy. That is why you need to tell yourself, I am the one for my family. I am the one to become wealthy because I need to change what has been going on. Poverty is a sin. It stops with me. No generational curses. It will not go to my children. I will have financial freedom. I will have financial liberation. And that is why I don't want to bore you with these details. I don't want to bore you with these details. The list is too long. The list is too long. We can stay here all night, right? But I want to get to something very important. Why World Financial Group? Why this? Wow. You know why? Because when I joined this business, Gilbert joined in 2019. I don't see his picture here. Gilbert, where were you? People like you and I were not on this platform. They were not winning. And that is why when I saw Gilbert, I'm like, I saw a brother. He looks like me. I'm doing this. You know why? Because now Now we have the United Nations. Now we have the United Nations. We are taking over. And that is why I see in our hierarchy, these are all people who are millionaires right now. Can you imagine? We are no longer talking about six figures. We are talking about multiple millionaires. You know who these people are. I don't want to spend too much time here because this year, who will become a millionaire? I want you to tell yourself, I am the one. I am the one for my family. Tell yourself that. Write it down and proclaim it morning and night. Remind yourself, I am the one for my family. You know why? Because this year we are going to have 16 more. Take a picture of that and put yourself next. Take a picture of that and put yourself next. I don't know where else you should be in 2026. This is the moment for you to rise above your fears, to rise above your challenges and say, this is my year of breakthrough. This is my year of new beginnings. This is my year of transformation. This is my year of change. It is up to me to get it done, God being on my side. Wow. What an incredible day. Wow, wow, wow. Look at this, guys. Everyone wishes to what? Be there at the beginning, but few are willing to start. Are you that one tonight? Because you know why? If you want to make the wrong decision tonight, ask everybody. You have been asking them for 20 years, what has happened? They are not in this meeting. You're going to leave this meeting and go talk to them. Were they here? You see what happens to people's brains? You came and sat here. They have shared information. You want to go and ask somebody who has no knowledge. The people perish for lack of knowledge. Knowledge not applied is wasted. I hope I'm not going to waste my time tonight. I hope we're going to take advantage of this. I hope we're going to step up and get this done. Ladies and gentlemen, we get paid 9 times a month. I don't even want to waste your time. That's just too much information. Just get started. Every 72 hours, boom. Every 72 hours, boom. Man, sometimes I ask my wife, babe, did you just know we just got paid? She's like, yeah. And then I wanted to look, boom, we just got paid again. I'm like, wait a minute. Really? Yeah. The best benefit though, bonuses every month. Wait a minute. When was the last time you got a $3,000 bonus at a job without taxes being taken out? And then you end up with 1,200. And they get so pissed. Oh my goodness. On top of that, we have retirement income. On top of that, you get to keep your book of business. Wait a minute. Yes, you get to keep your book of business. On top of that, when you go away, we are going to Hawaii this weekend, we are still getting paid. Wait a minute. On top of that, we have one of the biggest financial institutions backing us up. Are you kidding me? Aegon Group worth billions of dollars. Are you kidding me? And then there is profit sharing. And then we are rising together as a generation. We are rising together as a people. We have ownership, family oriented business in the right environment. What are we talking about? Our children are the future. That is why my kids go where I go, so that they can learn the ways of financial freedom. They can learn the ways of financial liberation. Wow. This is the best deal, guys. Signed, sealed, and delivered. Signed, sealed, and delivered. You know why? You can do your business in Canada and also in what? The United States, all 50 states. I was just sitting today and I got a check from my Canadian cycle. And, I was just really smiling. This is the check. I'm yet to go catch it. You see, we get paid in Canada, we get paid in America. So it's about 3-4 times a week now. You see that? That's called growth. The only thing you have to do is work from the comfort of your home. The internet is already there. The laptop is, or instead of watching Netflix and Hulu, why don't you get on Zoom and help somebody across the states? Guess what? It costs the price of Starbucks coffee. Yeah. Some of you spend $300 on Starbucks coffee a month. Why can't you start a business with that? Can you imagine? You are just going and chiming your car. Cling, cling, morning, afternoon, evening. You even Uber it to your house and then pay another charge for delivery. Why don't you use that money and start something that will transform your entire generation? And guess what? It only costs you $125. Then you study an online course for $30. The state gives you a license to do what we do. Wow. As a roundup, here's where we are. Ladies and gentlemen, look at where we are as a company, and then look at how much more we have to do. The opportunity is wide and vast for any dreamer on this call. If you want your dreams to become your reality, this is the place for you. You were not just born to pay bills and die. You were born to leave a legacy, not a liability. And that is why I want to welcome you to the wealth equation. On top of that, they give you Nikes because you're helping families so they can walk well, you can look sharp. On top of that, we are lowering your tax bill. On top of that, you travel the world like we are going to Hawaii at the end of this month. Can you imagine what kind of business is this? We are going to be in Honolulu. We are going to Honolulu. We are going to Honolulu. And all these different things are happening. At the end of the day, I want to leave you with this. You were born looking like your parents, but you die looking like your choices. Whatever choice you make today, whether right or wrong, you're right. The question is, I hope you're going to be right. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give it back to Ms. Nikki Cannon. I don't know where she is.
I'm here.
She's still somewhere right now trying to understand what just happened.
Hey,
so you're happy that you were on this call tonight?
It's all good.
Thank you so much, Ms. Nikki, for this opportunity. By the way, congratulations for your last promotion. That just happened. CEO, where does that happen? Only in Black History Month, only in an environment like this. She is the CEO of her own life. I give you the credit, I give you the honor, I give you the respect for creating this environment for people like you and me to thrive. Take it away and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Francis. I appreciate that. Yes, thank you so much. And right during Black History Month, it is pretty awesome. Man, you just heard he was looking for me. I was looking for a bucket of water to pour on that fire because that was fire. I want to thank all of our speakers this evening. I mean, just delivering, you guys, from the heart, took time out to be on with us tonight, to pour into each and whether you were a guest, whether you are an agent, whether you are a referral, they poured into each and every single one of us tonight with passion, with fire, with enthusiasm, took time away from their business and their families. But now is your opportunity to take your next step. So a poll is going to come up. The poll is going to come up on your screen, and now is your opportunity to take action. So you're on here tonight, your butt's on fire, your dreams just got bigger. You just realized there is an opportunity out there for you to go and accomplish your long-term vision and goals and dreams you've been thinking about, you've been dreaming about, but you just didn't know how you were going to make that happen at your job. Well, here's an opportunity for you to do that. So the poll is going to come up. I want each and every single one of you that is on here to take action. You heard every single speaker tonight. What was the number one thing they did when they saw this opportunity? They took action, right? Took action. So I want each and every single one of you to go on the poll if you're interested in getting the complimentary financial plan that Andrea talked about. It's free. It doesn't cost you any money to get some recommendations on lowering your taxes, saving for retirement, getting out of debt, getting the budget under control, saving for college, getting some insurance, protecting your family. Let's sit down and let's talk about the real things that are important in your household. Get that complimentary financial plan done. But a lot of you are on here and you're like, listen, I want to take a look at this opportunity on a part-time basis. And you can check that box, and one of us will reach out to you and make sure that we sit down with you and show you what it takes to come on board and take the next steps in our business opportunity. It's complete, powerful. And each of the people that you heard from tonight, you can be on that journey and on that path with us, just like us. None of us are any better than anybody else on this call. You can do it. If we can do it, you can do it too. All right. And some of you are like, I need both. I need to get a plan done. I need to get some my finances going, and I need to make some additional income part-time. Doesn't interfere with my job. Go out and make an extra $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month. Sign me up for that. Let's go. All right. So let me give you a couple of next things in our Black Excellence Leadership Council. A little history on our Black Excellence Leadership Council. We came together in 2020 after the George Floyd incident to as leaders, as Black and African leaders within the company, and we decided that we were going to form the Black Excellence Leadership Council. As you can see, there are many, 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 many leaders, Black and African leaders in the company that are doing extremely well. But collectively, we came together and said, hey, what could we really do if we all banded together and did something on a grander scale? And so we formed a nonprofit called the Black Excellence Leadership Council. within the company. We hold our own events. We hold our own meetings, trainings. We have had events in Las Vegas. We contribute to nonprofit organizations that are near and dear to our hearts and our community, both here and abroad, that are important to us. And so thank you so much for being on this evening. I want to give you an opportunity to keep up with us, though. So first of all, we have a Black Excellence Leadership Council merchandise store. So you can visit our Black Excellence Leadership Council